exactly here. And this is black people don't need unity. We don't. We don't need unity in the way that you're thinking. Uh, the problem, you hear people say that, like when we come together and, if everybody, we need to be more unified and so forth and so on. You've heard black men and black women, you know, say that over and over again. Despite that, white people have been murdering each other. Asians have been decapitating each other's heads. Mexicans have been human sacrificing each other for thousands of years, as well as Africans have been killing Africans. Nobody is completely unified. I know what you're trying to say, but really, that's just, that's the dreamer talk. That's a little naive. That's, for people who really believe that, and I do mean like really, really believe that, that's a very naive and utopian way of dealing with problems. So I'm going to put my 2 cents in, or should I say 5 cents? I think it's worth more than 2 cents. And we don't need unity for the simple fact that if we are unified, meaning we're one big, and that's the problem, is that that's how most people already see us. We're one big mass. We're one big collective consciousness. That's why everybody thinks black people say the N word to each other. We all like basketball. We all eat fried chicken and watermelon, and so forth and so on. Hostile attitude. And as soon as you don't fit a part of the mass, you know, glob, they look at you like you're a fucking unicorn. I just don't get it. But other races can do all these other different things, and have a complete diversity. So that's my point, is that we need to diversify. We don't need to be unified for per se. We need to have factions. And what I mean by factions, I mean groups, I mean associations, and I don't mean necessarily like it has to be all formal or anything. Groups is just meaning your socio-economic and social groups. You know, you guys, men, women, you're living a particular lifestyle, you stick to that lifestyle as far as like being different, like myself. You know what I mean? I'm in a subculture. Believe it or not, rap is a subculture, but people think that it is a main culture of black people, and it simply is not. Rap or hip hop, whatever you want to call it, is a subculture. It is not a main culture. Especially when you talk to these hip hop artists, they think that that is nothing but black culture, is music, which is fucking idiotic. We are more than just music. There's more to the world than the NBA championship or the NFL, right? So what I mean by factions is that if we network ourselves within these different factions, these different groups, and network, it would be somewhat like a spider's web. Yes, we have a central kind of focus point, maybe our political base or something like that. But not every black person is going to get along because nobody else on the planet fucking get along. You can put two people in the same room and they're going to disagree about so many different other things, and they have different kinds of viewpoint. I'd say, as unique as you are, surround yourself with people that are like you. Hopefully they will be black and they have the same agenda. You know what I mean? Whether it's starting businesses or just being more affluent, being more active, being being outside of the norm. Because if we are a unified group, that is easier for others to control us. Think about it. You've got all your eggs in one basket. If something happens, your race is gone. That's over with. But if you're spread out all over the place, that's a much harder job to contain. So, yes, we need black Republicans. I know we have a few. Hell, I want thousands. I want hundreds of thousands more. I believe that black people can do anything and go anywhere, and that nothing should limit you from doing anything you want to do. But the funny thing about doing that is that fucking black people even limit you. That's the fucked up part. Black people themselves limit you. Had to turn off the phone there. They limit you. Isn't that fucked up? That's majorly fucked up. So, you know, black punk rockers with mohawks. Yes, I want them. Black people that play hockey. Yes. Black people that play soccer. Yes. Black swimmers. Yes. There was one with Michael Phelps, actually. Black people in gymnastics. Yes. All of that shit. Airline pilots, scientists, computer programmers, carpenters. You know, we've proven that we could do anything else on the planet, but the people that seems to be limiting the most is our own people. Once we start embracing those people fully, and even surround ourselves with people who are like them, you know, we can start making inroads in breaking some of these stereotypes, as well as having some kind of power, because that's how we'll be able to maneuver through different types of situations. You know, I would love for a fact, I mean, one day to know that there is a black person on every freaking continent, from Russia to Denmark to China to, you know, Brazil to South America. Well, I said South America, to Canada, and all of that. And the funny thing is, there is, but black people don't seem to think that way. Like, we're not everywhere. We're all in the hood, or we're in the major cities in Africa. That's it. You know? So we don't need to be unified. We need to pretty much divide ourselves up in particular groups, whether we agree or not. And that's the funny part of me saying this, because it is kind of a contradiction. But I'm trying to give hope to some of you, even though you disagree. You know what I mean? That we as a people can flourish, and we can go out into the world as um, different representatives of ourselves. Mostly positive, because we've got the negative thing down pat with movies and music, TV shows and statistics and shit like that. You know, we've got that hit down pat. You know, but we need to move on. So we do not need unity as everybody coming together in one big mass. But we need to come together in smaller groups with like-minded goals. More of that versus more of just, because, you know, Reverend Sharpton doesn't speak for me. He probably doesn't speak for you. He probably doesn't speak for everybody on YouTube. Neither does Reverend, you know, Jesse Jackson. But there might be some other black person that I know of, like in the computer industry, that speaks to me. And I understand him. And I would bring more people, because I know tons of black people, you know, who are IT, who are programmers and stuff like that. We can have a coalition behind him. You know what I mean? Because a lot of things that some of us black people are doing that aren't shown in the media, we're making pretty good money, and we're doing pretty good. We want more of them to follow us. And the thing is not, I'm not trying to brainwash somebody like, you know, you have to learn this. It's for people who are already got an interest in it. That's the biggest thing I think that I hate about some of these special program things. They just stick a bunch of kids in and say, oh, you know, you should learn this because you have no direction and things like that. That's a waste of money. You should put the money where the people have the ideas to create real change, real economic change. I mean, I've met some brothers and sisters in Grambling, in Howard, in Spelman, and that sort of thing. Just brilliant minds if they just had the capital and the resources. You know what I mean? I would support them 100%. You know, and there are going to be ups and downs and failures, even within them trying to start their own businesses and different factions. But anyway, exactly. Think about what I said. Peace.